We're live. We're live. We're live, baby.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday. It's the weekend. It's the weekend. It's the weekend.
Do you have a certain gift or skill or talent that most people don't know about? You know about it. And the kind of thing that when they find out about it, they're surprised about you. I had no idea you could
Blah, blah, blah.
I had no idea you played the piano. I had no idea you were so strong. I had no idea you could sing so well. I had no idea you were so good at couponing. Do you have a gift or skill or talent that most people don't know about? Let's talk about those things and share them today.
Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about it right back after these messages. Well, that wasn't how it went. After these messages.
That's it.
Well,
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to you each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like.
good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I'm sharing it to my page.
Share
Do you have a skill or talent that most people don't know about?
what you do. What can you do that most people don't know about? I don't know if I do.
For example, I am unbeatable at checkers. I could beat anybody. I could beat your city's champion. I could beat your family's best player in your family, the best player at your church. I could beat anybody in checkers.
How's that?
Because I am that good, and I play fast too. Let me tell you some examples. I could.
Good morning, Latanya, and congratulations on the new leg of your journey, my sister.
That's right, the new leg of your journey. But one skill or talent that I have that most people don't know about is no one can beat me in checkers. I can go to a city and people will say, and they come up, and I say, well, the best player in this city is this woman. She hangs out at the barbershop all day long, beating everybody at the barbershop. And there was a situation that out there near Wilmington, actually. And I went there and I beat her 3 times in a row. Okay. Mm-hmm. One time at my past church, Love Fellowship Believers, I got late to the cookout. This mother of the church, she had been beating everybody all day. Okay. And I said, well, I'll play her. And one of the elders was like, I'll bet you $500 you can't beat her. He never seen me play. And I beat her 10 times in a row. 10 times in a row. She wanted to go again. I beat her 10 times in a row. When I was in the Army, when we go into, or even in National Guard, we go into in the woods in the weekends, something like that. The checkerboard is set up, and after a while, everyone is playing together against me. They're all trying to be collude. Okay, they're talking it out every move to beat me. I'm telling you, that's a skill or gift I have.
What? Go ahead, Latanya.
No one can beat me in checkers. I could beat the best person at the game.
Well, she said she loves checkers, but she's not very good. Yeah. Playing you could make me step up my game.
And I would like to play you, but I want to forewarn you. Lisa won't play me ever again.
I didn't play you in checkers ever.
My son won't play me. He thought he was pretty good. Because what will happen is, and I don't want to compromise any friendships, but I'm going to double and triple jump you to death. Okay, and it's just going to be funny to me, but I won't say anything. But it'll be discouraging.
Pastor George said he will accept that challenge, Grand Rising.
Pastor George, we're friends, man. We're friends, and I don't want to do that to my friend.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Do you have to always go first, or does it not matter?
It doesn't make a difference to me. You can go first. I don't even care what rules you play by, because some people have different rules in checkers. Some people play you can't jump backwards. Some people say you can't jump backwards unless you go forward. Some people say no jumping backwards at all, no matter what. I don't care. You can play any rules you want. I'll play by your house rules. Anyway, so that's a skill I have that most people don't know about.
Anyway, that's Tommy's laughing at you because Brian is very competitive. So much so, I it's very difficult for me to play something that is not just casually competitive with him, because I don't I don't I don't like trash talk. So I don't play spades. And
She
I
can't
don't
handle
like
it.
intimidation. Like, I don't like it when people intimidate me um, by acting like they know something even though that they don't. Which
Mhm.
he's the king of. It's bull crapping. Like, he's the king of. It says this. Is you can look it up. You can look it up. If you look it up and I'm right, he'll do stuff like that. So
You
I
hate
don't
trash
like it.
talk too, Tanya? I'm surprised.
I don't like
The
it.
time you don't like trash talk. Lisa can't stand it. And my family is big on it. My whole family is big on trash talk. Whether it's basketball or pool or running, anything.
It crosses the line. Sometimes the trash talk goes too far, and I don't like it. So I just don't
You think
interact
it
with
goes
it.
too far.
That's right, Latanya. Just play the game. So what do you know? What skill or talent do you have that nobody knows about? I can sew.
Lisa can actually sew.
I've been sewing since I was 7 years old. I
Old school
actually
needle and thread.
and sewing machine. Yeah, absolutely.
Who sews anymore? Lisa sews.
Absolutely, I did so. Now, it was just simple mending with some of the stuff that I did for Brian, but I know how to wield a needle and thread. I know how to do it. I remember I was raised old school, so I know how to do it. But I made my first
Sam tries to
dashiki.
talk junk and you shut him down.
You should shut him down. I don't try to shut him down. I just walk away.
Lisa and I have only played Scrabble against each other once. And you would think Scrabble would be a cool game for us to play. I would love to play her again, but she won't play me anymore.
No.
Because you can say your perspective, but I'm going to tell you my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before the game starts, I fully expect I'm going to win. Okay? It's not a question of whether I'm going to win or not. I know I'm going to win. But I expect to win by at least 100 points. That's how it makes it competitive to me. I'm going to win by 100 points at least. So if I beat her by 90 points, it's not the same. I want to win by at least 100 points. Now, we played one game, and I won pretty good, and she wouldn't play. Now, I was not talking trash. I was just enjoying the game. She perceived I was thinking trash, even though I didn't say anything. I didn't say nothing. You're thinking trash talk, and so because of that, she won't play anymore.
Latanya, good morning, Renee. Latanya said I can sew by hand with a needle and thread, but not with a sewing machine. You can do it. Miss Phyllis said I can sew. I have a machine. I do too.
Really?
I do too. And I actually fished it out yesterday because there's some things that I want to do. That's one of the things that I wanted to do. Brian asked the question yesterday, and I thought it was interesting. He asked me, and I had already been contemplating it. Could you reinvent yourself?
And it was inspired by Latanya Blackman's.
Absolutely.
I was like, Lisa, have you ever thought of Now, I can see us doing what we do right now for the rest of our lives easily. Okay. But I was like, have you ever thought about reinventing yourself, or could you even reinvent yourself?
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that I know that I don't know if it's a reinvention, but it's more of a doubling down. A lot of times people want to leverage my skills as a publisher, but I had been playing down or allowing myself to be overlooked as a spiritual director. The publishing is more about the end result or the communication of the evolution that I help my clients to go through.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. But so often, so many people are coming to me now with the part where they just want to publish. What they find out is I'm not going to publish you if you're not evolved. I'm not going to publish you if your stuff still has holes in it. But I can. I mean, I could. I know how to publish, but the spiritual direction is really the best fulfillment of their project. Anyway.
And what you want to do with your current collection of your skills and talents.
Absolutely. So I also had to kind of reinvent, or I didn't have to, but I chose to reinvent a little bit of my concern for clothing. So one of the big pet peeves, if I have one, if there is one, is that the styles of clothes for people of a certain size are not flattering for people of a certain size unless they are of a certain size and a certain size shape.
proportion.
Right.
So if they're big, they gotta have big boobs, big booty,
and hips
for the clothes to fit.
Right, for the clothes to still look flattering.
Okay.
And or else you get to wear a box or a sheet. And I don't want that. So I do know how to make clothes more flattering on my shape. And I'm also in the process of redefining my shape with diet and exercise. But I'm never going to be a Coca-Cola bottle. It's not my family's shape. It's not my shape. But I still want to look good in my clothes. And so some of what I get to do is to modify the clothing so that it fits more flattering. That was one of the things that I would always have to do. But I began to think, what about instead of modifying it, what about designing a clothing line for people who are shaped like me? Because guess what? I see y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I see y'all in the supermarket. I see y'all in the store. I see y'all in the mall trying to get into stuff that don't have no business getting on you. And even stores that are supposed to cater to a larger woman always want to cater to a larger woman with the typical feminine shape, this shape.
You know, you've teased this idea about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. You mentioned something like this. It had to be at least 3 years ago, probably closer to 4.
Mm-hmm.
But Latanya Blackman, first off, Latanya says, I've reinvented myself so many times, I don't know if that's good or not. Actually, it's about normal, because most adults do reinvent themselves several times and have several different jobs in entirely different fields throughout their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So it's normal and average, and that's good. And it keeps you young and it keeps your mind engaged. But she also says, you rock your look, Lisa. Now, a lot of people think Lisa rocks her look. She rocks her style, her hair, her glasses, her earrings, her yellow, her skin out, all that kind of stuff. Now, she does rock her look. When she leaves the house, she's put together, but it's work for her. And she gets great frustrations trying to buy clothes. Oh, it upsets her so. I don't even want her to go by herself. And I don't want to go with her either. So I want to find, for years, I wish I was thinking, man, Lisa needs someone to help her or go shopping with her so she doesn't come back pissed the freak off because the stores have let her down yet again. Now, if this is that much of a problem and that much of a headache for you, baby, you're probably not the only one.
Absolutely.
She's only 4'11".
That part.
Okay. She's got meat on her bones. Okay. But the places her meat on her bones ain't the one the fashion designers choose.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. I don't have the hips. My waist, even with a waist trainer, my waist is still not in. And so it's just my shape of my body. Unless I'm going to take out some ribs and not eat, it's not going to be the look that is typical.
I think you do have a waist there because I see you naked all the time. So I think you do have, and she's always naked.
I spend more time naked than I do with clothes on. That's what people don't know about me. I don't know if that's a skill, but
or talent.
I don't know if it's skill or talent, but I spend a lot of time naked. Like as soon as I get into the house,
as you get in the house,
I want to take off my bra.
You do, and you should. If I wore a bra, if I was a woman, I promise you, because it looks so confining to me.
It is.
But if I wore a bra, it would be the first thing I took off when I went home. It'd be like hanging up my keys on the key.
I was about to say, sometimes it comes off in the car. Like back in the day, I'm not quite as flexible nowadays, but back in the day, it would be off in the car when I was trying.
That makes so much sense to me. Okay. It makes sense to me. I mean, it don't even matter what size breast you have, but if you had to have something holding that up all day, like this, okay? And what if it was one of those push-up ones? Okay, so imagine
underwire ones.
Or something with an underwire, okay? An underwire holding it up all day while you're at work like this.
I appreciate that you understand my place.
I imagine it'd be the first thing I did when I got home would be to release the hound.
Like the way you take off your shoes.
Yes,
if barking.
If I've been walking around in shoes all day, dress shoes especially, it doesn't matter. Dress shoes or basketball shoes, but I've been hustling around all day long.
It's typically dress shoes.
Yeah, in and out of the car.
Bark with sneakers.
So when I get home and I can take off my shoes, my dogs are barking my feet.
Literally.
So I take off my shoe and go, roo, 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 roo. That's the noise. And the next shoe, roo, 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 roo. My dogs are barking.
So what do you have the ability to do that most people don't know?
Good morning, Miss Glenda. How you doing? Do you have a skill or talent that most people just don't even know that you do? I got another one.
Mhm.
I'm a really, really good listener. Okay. And I practice it all the time. I listen to the lyrics of every song I hear on the radio, and I can hear clues because I'm a salesperson. I can hear clues how to sell the person. They'll say casually, I only bought this because that lady was just so nice. Okay, I hear all that kind of stuff and interpret it. Okay, they respond well to people that are nice to them because they just said they'll buy from someone that's nice. My clue, ding, ding, ding. I can listen really, really good, and I practice it. The radio, the TV. Lisa made a comment on the show yesterday. She wishes she could watch Boondocks with my mind. I think you're right, but I also think it's because of my ears. I hear stuff.
Hey, Brittany, we miss you. Miss Phyllis says, so way back in the day, the bra and corset was together. I'm sure they wished that they could take it off. That was an ordeal. A corset was the truth. Now we have the waist trainers, and they are similar to corsets, and some of them do have the bra built into them. But I'm going to tell you, it is the devil.
The waist trainers today, the body trainers, the body magic stuff.
I've spent so much money on them to the point that I am frustrated because even the waist trainer, even the ones that I can't breathe in, they are not going to suck me in this way. They're going to let there be a belly and it's still going to be the same width.
I gave a workshop to some artists, ARDYSS. They sold Body Magic, okay? And I told them to take me through the process. I did a training for them. And when they settle it to somebody, they tell them to go in the bathroom. And I said, so how do they put it on? And the way they described putting it on to me, I'm like, oh my God, who would do that?
You got at home, you got to have a team. You got to have a team, baby.
And then to take it off was so much. It sounded like it was something that would take a half an hour to do either way. Okay. And then I was thinking, what if you have to use the bathroom?
Don't.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to go to the bathroom. And they actually have the funnels that you can now use to go to the bathroom so that you don't have to take off your girdle. You can actually stand up and pee like a guy.
Renee Peterson says, I truly understand, Lisa, where you are coming from. It's work. Now, you're talking about it's work putting on like a body trainer, or it's work shopping for clothes? Which one is it?
It's work shopping for clothes.
Oh, she's talking about don't have to go to the bathroom now. Don't do it.
For real. For real. Miss Phyllis says, I have a bra and corset and I wear it, but sometimes it makes me look like I have two bullets. LOL. Yeah, two pointy bullets. That's hilarious.
Breast?
Yes.
Okay.
Both.
Point out both. Okay, yeah. Both. She said shopping and putting on that stuff is work. Yeah. And so because it's a challenge, maybe it is time for reinvention because, no one on this planet could design your look better than you. And what if other people like your look enough to buy your look? What if enough other people have your body style and a similar frustration?
I'm sure that they do. Because like I said, even stores like Torrid, they're still not particularly built for my body shape.
Like they don't even believe your body exists.
And I don't want any flowers and stuff. I don't want any little girl flowers. Like,
see?
No.
So you don't want flowers?
I want it to be rocker style, but for my size. And they think when you're my size that you should be Little House on the Prairie with a tiered skirt or a muumuu.
So we don't mind talking about the reinvention of yourself and your skills and talents. That's fine. Today's original topic was, is there a skill or a talent that you have that most people don't know about? And
so mine is sewing.
Mm-hmm.
It is also creating.
Okay.
In lots of different mediums. I wouldn't say that I'm a professional, but I would say that in these particular mediums, but I would say that I'm creative and committed.
Man, creative minds are different.
Mm-hmm.
Our friend Rochelle Gray, she does this thing about 9 different types of intelligences. She calls it the Intelligence Project. The 9 different types of intelligences that people have. And creativity is one of the different types of intelligences. Another one is spatial. My oldest son has a spatial intelligence. He's a skateboarder, but he also makes jewelry. He made many of the pieces I have on right now. One time I had took out an ad in a local newspaper.
Good morning, Dr. Deborah.
And I gave my picture because I was selling cars and I didn't want to be casual about it at all. I was selling cars. So like first month, I took an ad out in the paper and I sent them my picture because I was like, come and buy a car from this guy kind of thing. Right away, I bought me an ad. Okay. And in the picture, I'm facing this way. Okay. I'm in the picture, I'm facing this way. But in the newspaper, it came out that my picture is facing this way. An entirely different side of my face and all that stuff. And I wonder, how could that be? And my son was in the car. Look, son, this is the picture I sent him. We were in the car. He goes, Dad, look, just take your picture, lay it down on it, and then lay it. It was so simple to him. He couldn't understand how come I couldn't get it. But because that was his type of intelligence. You know, it's easy. Look, that's what happens.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it, but he could.
Yeah. That's also similar to, there's a certain dimension and texture to certain marketing things that sometimes are lost on people who are just trying to put together something themselves. There should be a certain amount of white space. There should be a certain amount of proportion. There should be a certain amount of colors that go together. There should be there's textures, layers to it. And when you not naturally adept towards it, then it's not necessarily your gift.
That brings to mind another great question. Today, we're talking about that skill or talent that you have that most people don't know. And we also talked about the reinvention of yourself. Sometimes at times to reinvent from what you've been doing to something entirely different. But what Lisa just brought up another question in my mind I want to throw on the table. Yes, we want to talk about that gift, skill, or talent that you're particularly adept at that most people don't know. But is there something else that you're completely inept at? And you're surprised, and people will be surprised that you can't do. Okay, you can't get it no matter how hard you try, but other people can do it easily. Like, for example, I have something I've tried so often. Lisa's tried to teach me how to do it, and I just cannot grasp this thing about how to, after I record a session with a client, how do I download the recording to my computer and then upload the recording in such a way that I could email it to the client. Okay. That whole process confuses me, and it doesn't sound, even coming out of my mouth right now, it doesn't sound like that should be a problem. It should be easy to do.
Even with step-by-step instructions.
Because I'll find, she's written step-by-step instructions for me in detail, but I'll find the one step. I'll find the one step where, okay, what does she mean to go here? Or it might be
or the one assumed step.
A step that might be assumed, yeah.
Like, how do you make a peanut butter sandwich?
Or
you put the peanut butter on the bread.
Okay, but
do you set the jar of peanut butter on top of the bread?
Right.
Or did you have to open up the jar of peanut butter, scoop it out, put it on the bread,
open up a packet of bread
out of the package? Now, we had to do that actually at IBM. They used to give us kits to take to the community where we would do workshops with the kids. And one of the things to teach the kids how to teach AI, how to create artificial intelligence, you had to design the steps to code to tell something to do something else. So you had to start out with a very, very simple project. And actually making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich was one of those projects. And we had to break it because a lot of times you assume that this should be common. Everybody should know this. But you have to assume that every little thing, when you're writing code, that every little thing is spelled out.
You know, you've reminded me of a story I haven't told in probably 40 years. I haven't told this story. Maybe 50 years since I've told this story. I'm only 55, 54. But we grew up in New York. I was the oldest of 4 children. I had 3 younger sisters. And me and Tracy were the oldest too. My sister Tracy, she's only like a year and a half behind me in age. And I was probably 5 or 4, maybe 6, and Tracy was 5. And my mother would always tell me every night, Brian, go run a tub of water. You and Tracy take off your clothes, go get in the tub and wash up, okay? Because we used to take a bath together, okay, at that age. And there's one night, my mother said, Brian, you and Tracy go take your bath. And I said, you want us to run the water, Mom? She goes, yeah, of course, run the water. And she goes, you want me to take off my clothes too? And she ignored me, okay? So I ran the bath water, and me and Tracy got in the tub with our clothes on, and we had a good old time, like swimming. That's how little we were. Probably even younger than 5 and 6. We was like pretending to be swimming with our clothes. We was in the water with our clothes on.
Job
She did. She tore our butt up. But we were having a ball with our clothes on in the tub because my mama didn't say take your clothes off.
Take your clothes off.
So maybe that's
because it wasn't assumed. It was like, of course, you're gonna take.
So maybe that's one of the idiosyncrasies of me.
Yes, you're very literal.
I'm literal like that. You gotta say what you.
And so I know that about you. I know that you're very literal, but sometimes I know that I leave out details. So sometimes when I'm trying to communicate with you, I put in all the details, all of the extra details, all of the simple things, all of the backstory, all of the everything. And then
I'm frustrated
by
that.
You're frustrated.
Baby, you going around the mulberry bush.
Could
you just get to the point
I'm trying to put
and
all
tell
the
me what you want to tell me?
In there. Good gracious. Instead of saying, do you want seafood pasta tonight? I would ask about, do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want clams? Do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want all of those things? And so why don't I make a seafood pasta? And by the time I get to it, you like that.
Yes. I'm like, okay, where is this story
going?
Tell me what you're trying to tell me. I want to know. And sometimes, baby, truth be told, you'll want to go down the mulberry bush, like when I'm heading to the bathroom already. I got one foot in the door, one foot out. I'm leaving the room. I'm about to go get in the car. And then you want to go through this. Okay, I'm walking out the house, baby. Tell me what you got to tell me. Okay, da-da-da-da. Okay, come on, baby. I'm in my mind cheerleading for you. I'm cheerleading. Come on, baby. You can get to this point. You really can. You can get to that point, baby. Come on. I know you. I know it's in there. Bring it, baby. I won't say this out loud. Okay. Come on, baby. Bring the point. Bring this baby home. Land this plane. Come on. What do you want?
So there's another skill, but I think most people know it now. I can cook really well.
Yes, she's a great cook. Okay, so that's another skill or talent. So for you, Dr. Deborah or Renee Peterson, is there a skill, or Miss Phyllis, that or talent or gift that you have that most people don't even know about?
I can sew, I can paint, I can sing, I can.
Dr. Deborah, I could actually imagine this stuff happening.
Yes, you should. You should be able to imagine it.
Even Dr. Deborah, she told me a story about you, something that had you in it. Okay. And I was like, okay, Dr. Deborah's in the story. Okay, she's part of the story. I know that much. Okay, now what? Come on.
Brian is like, would you please? Yeah, I have had, I also think that it has to do with.
And I probably trained you to do that.
Yeah.
At least part of it.
Yeah, because there are certain things that, there's a couple of things. So one is you like to be sold.
Yes.
And when I want to get a particular outcome, then I want to sell you.
I want to be persuaded. But you got to sell me right. You got to start off with, what's the problem? That'll engage me. What's the challenge or problem or something that needs to be fixed or something that we want to change?
That doesn't happen.
That will engage
not
me.
All the time.
If you start with that.
Not all the time.
Okay.
Not all the time. Because sometimes you cannot lead with the problem, particularly if I want you to believe that you came to a certain conclusion on your own.
That takes some more finesse.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're trying to make me think it was my idea, that takes more patience, actually, and finesse. By the way, I think that's I call them womanly wiles. Womanly wiles. A womanly wiles is the ability to get her husband to do what she wants him to do because that's what he decided to do. Now, I'm cool with that. If you work your womanly wiles on me and it gets me to believe, fine. I think every woman in couplehood in any kind of way should be able to work her man at least a little bit. He's going to be cool with it, even if he knows he's being worked. Okay, that's just how she works me. Okay, I'm fine with it because I do prefer to be sold on something. So work your wiles and make me think it's my idea, but that to make someone think it's their idea, there's a couple of more steps involved than just persuading them to do something. Now, if you just want them to do something because you decide you want them to do it, that could happen fast. But if you want them to think that they're doing it, that's some more finesse. Okay.
Class is next week.
How to do
how to Delilah your brother.
how does Delilah your brother?
Mhm.
Because he wants to do it.
He wants to do it. He wants to be Delilah. So that's another skill that I don't know if I popularly utilize it, but it is a secret talent. I have a very good Delilah capacity.
But until you don't feel like doing it. And when you don't feel like doing it, then you get frustrated.
Yeah.
You know your husband wants to be sold. You know he wants to think it's his idea. But you got to know it's going to take more work. And sometimes you want him to be sold just because you want him to do it.
And
that's not the same thing.
But a lot of things with my husband, it really is that. He just wants to see me happy. So sometimes those things just take A and B. That's it. And I'm grateful for that. I don't take that for granted.
But on those times when you want me to do something that you know I'm not going to want to do.
Not particularly predisposed to do.
Right. To go to sit with you and your girlfriends at something.
Well, I would not. Relationship 101. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Brian, come with me to this something because her husband might be there.
No.
I don't know her husband, for one.
Don't do that. Dr. Deborah said I can make candy.
Really?
Both hard candy and chewy candy.
Who makes candy anymore?
I love that.
But she can actually make candy. How about that? Who makes candy? Both hard and chewy. So if it's chewy, you're probably making like some coconut something, maybe coconut peanut buttery, chocolatey something.
Or taffy.
Maybe.
I love that you can make candy. I can make peanut brittle, but I don't think I have made it. I can make brownies. I can make, what do you call them? Dipped strawberries. I can do those, and with different colors, and I can do those. I
have a book and still have it. It's one of my treasured books. It's called Games That Trainers Play. Games That Trainers. It's a big old book too. But all these different things that trainers do to like break the ice in the meeting and to make people get to know each other. And one of the games is 2 truths and a lie. Okay. Where you tell 2 things about you that are true and 1 thing about you that's not true, but it could sound like it's true. And your job is to not tip your hand as to which one is the lie.
Or 1 thing that's true that sounds like a lie. That can really trip people up.
Yes, but this particular game is 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah.
So you'll tell your 2 truths and a lie and go around the room and see who can get it right. And it's always hilarious, first off. Because a lot of times that thing that's true, that's a lie. That they think is a lie is actually true, but they can't imagine that person having done that.
Right.
Okay. Mr. George Allen, a.k.a. Chef
He said, my wife has been trying to sell me on buying her some red bottoms, and I am not falling for it. Never. She wants some Louboutins?
God. Yes. I got to tell you my favorite story.
Oh, my God.
The names will be withheld to protect the innocent.
Thank you, Jesus.
So we used to have regular meetings, networking meetings. And there was this pastor that used to come. He was a pastor of a church. Aaron Charlotte. I'm not going to say his name.
Bless you.
Okay. But he has a church, and he used to complain about his church members all the time. Okay. My church members this and my church members that. He used to come to the men's meeting and complain about his church members all the time. And he says, and my wife's the only one in my church that wears Louboutins. Okay. And then now he's complaining about his church members, and he's saying, my wife's the only one in my church that wears Louboutins. And I didn't know what Louboutins were. I said, man, what are Louboutins? Red bottom shoes. So what? Your wife wears Louboutins. Big freaking deal.
They're very expensive shoes.
So?
But and they're often a sign of status. And the fact that they are red bottoms are the fact that give them the ability to be seen from far away.
How easy is it to paint the bottom of any shoe?
Well,
okay. You can paint any shoe red.
It's not painted on. It's actually a red sole.
You can still paint it to look like a red sole. How often do you see the soles of anybody's shoes anywhere ever?
All the time.
You see the bottoms. You see the bottoms
like that
as they're walking. But if they're standing still, then you're not seeing that.
Yeah, you can. You can see it if you're standing behind them.
You can paint any pumps in a spray paint red, and it'll pass.
No, it won't. It will not. They are very, very.
George Allen says, hell no. to the no, 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 hell to the no. That's my man, Bishop Bullwinkle. Ooh, Dr. Deborah makes Jolly Rancher like candy and also
and
taffy.
taffy. Yes. Renee, that is an awesome skill. She says I can be creative when braiding hair. That used to be one of my gifts. I don't know if it's still my gift anymore because my hands don't work the same.
And you don't like to.
And I don't particularly like to. But I can make wigs. A lot of people don't know that. I can make wigs. And
Lisa can make wigs, but she can also make dolls. She made a beautiful stuffed doll, and she wrote a book called The Tiniest Little Acorn, and she made these acorn babies with cut up socks and stuffed cotton and all that kind of stuff.
Pantyhose
and socks and eyes. I thought they were so beautiful, and I could see that being $1 million business because she would give a workshop with it. She'd get a bunch of 15-year-old girls and grown women and sit them around tables with all their stuff and have them building their own tiniest little acorn babies as she talks to them in a story. And I couldn't wait to do that workshop with you, actually. I wanted to see it, really, is what I want to see.
Well, yes, Miss Phyllis. She says, nope, it will not. The red will scrape off.
And when it scrapes off, just reapply it again and again. It's a whole lot. I'll do it daily if you needed to. That's ridiculous to me. I didn't even know what Louboutins were. Okay. I saw Louboutin. Now, since I know what they are, I've seen them around. There's even men red bottom shoes.
Yes, there are.
Okay.
Yes, there are.
Really? Men's red bottom shoes, really? There are, because I've seen men wear them.
There are.
Really? That's all my answer to that is. It will scrape off. So what? Phyllis George says, I interpret. I used to make dolls with stockings. Amen.
You interpret what? Sign language? I know somebody does sign language. Yeah.
What are you looking up for?
I'm looking up the price.
$775?
$2,500. The $700 ones are going to be like motherboard. The $2,500 ones are going to be your Sopranos.
Whatever.
Your high heel.
How many times can I paint some shoes for $2,500?
Man, whatever.
You ain't getting no. I'm with you, Chef Rev. Lisa ain't getting no Louboutins either. He goes, isn't it Jimmy Choo red bottoms? I'm gonna need my glasses.
No, I don't know about Jimmy Choo, but I know about Louboutin.
Exactly. This guy spray painted some shoes, and he says, my wife says she wanted some red bottoms from Neiman Marcus for Mother's Day. Thank God for Home Depot being open early on Sunday morning. And actually, those shoes look good. Those shoes look good, don't they? No. He went to Home Depot, got some red spray paint, some newspaper, some tape, taped around the shoe, and hooked it up.
And Miss Phyllis says, yeah, she does ESL sign language at church.
See, Miss Phyllis, that is a cool talent and skill that I didn't know you had. A lot of people wouldn't even know that you could do that. Remember that I can't remember which politician was speaking.
I remember, and they had a fake signer,
and if people that really understood sign language were in uproar.
Bless.
Why would you even go up there and fake it? You don't know.
She got paid for it. She got paid for it.
Wow.
And I mean, she was doing all kind of crazy.
You're not.
And it has nothing to do with what he was saying.
Wow.
It wasn't even signs.
It wasn't sign language. It was just she just moving around like a sign language person would move, but she wasn't doing anything. And it was
American
crazy.
Sign Language, ASL. Yes.
That's pretty cool.
When I said ESL, I was thinking English as a second language because I used to teach an ESL class. You know that you don't have to speak the other language. You just have to speak English to be able to teach ESL, which I thought was crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was a guy too. It was the black guy. Yeah, that did that. Yeah, I thought it was a guy as well.
Crazy.
I was thinking, man, why even bother, man? You don't know sign language. Stay down. Okay, that particular speech, they won't have a signer. Okay, because you don't know sign language. You can't find one.
There was a lady and a guy, but she says, yeah, there was a guy also. Yes, there was a guy also.
I remember the guy.
Crazy. So what do you do? What special skill or talent do you have that most people don't know about?
And I know you have one. You have a skill or talent or an aptitude at something in particular that most people have no idea about. Are you willing to share it today? What skill or talent that you have that most people have no idea?
So I don't know if it's a skill or a talent, but it's an ability. And I actually did some research on it and realized that it's actually more common than I thought. I have a very high electromagnetic energy, so much so that I can't wear watches. And there was a season where I could not even touch screens because I would short them out. And there's a I don't want to call it a disorder because it's not a disorder, but it's called SLI, street lamp interference, or electromagnetic interference. I never knew it had a name, but it does have a name. And I have to get to a certain level of my energy. I can short out a watch any day, anytime, but after a certain amount of stress or a certain amount of energy, or even combined energy. I was talking to someone today that actually has the same thing, but her and her daughter were both at a very heightened energetic mode, and they actually shorted their house out. That you can actually interfere with the electricity.
Now, Ms. Phillips says, yes, go out of the country to teach English and math. We have a friend that did that 4 years ago.
And stayed there.
And he never came South America. He went to South America to teach English.
And never came back.
Never came back. He went down there, had a good old time, and just stayed. Okay, and he's still there.
Yeah.
Okay?
But he also speaks Spanish.
Yes, but he went there to teach English.
Right, I know,
Okay.
but that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you can teach English without any knowledge of the other language, which I think is crazy.
Yeah.
Because, like, how do you communicate until they speak English? But you just do it in finite
It's
things.
forcing the people to learn through
Yeah,
the
it's
immersion
immersion.
method,
Yeah.
which is really a difficult thing to do unless you could connect with them in another way, at least.
Yeah, immersion is actually the best way to learn anything. That's why children can pick up both languages, particularly when their parents divide the language responsibilities. That was one of the things that they would actually ask people to do, is like have or deal where they saw that the child will become more adept in the second language. Like the grandmother would never speak English, or the grandfather or the father. One side of the family would only speak that language, and the other side of the family would only speak this language, and then you just pick them up.
Tony Gonzalez was a Hall of Fame tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. His name is Gonzalez, and he was able to benefit from being one of the few Latino men to make it to the Hall of Fame in football. And he felt some guilty because his name was Tony Gonzalez, but he didn't know how to speak Spanish. So what he did was he went to Mexico, and to some small town in Mexico, way off to the west of it. He said the name, I looked it up. It's not a major city. And he stayed with a family there to learn Spanish through the immersion method. And he did that for a couple of summers in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Lived with the family there. And he learned Spanish.
You can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it. Now you can do it over Skype. I actually was talking to, Skyping somebody to learn Spanish. Skyping the whole community. But it got creepy. There were some people that were not just there to Skype the language, but they were just funky. Anyway, it just got difficult.
Pastor Georgia Allen says, wow, I know someone that can ripe fruit by touching it.
I love that.
Wow.
I love that.
Dr. Deborah Dunson says, Lisa, I have this too. When I was little, I cried. When I broke one of my only Mickey Mouse watch. I do not wear watches today. Yeah, I believe that about Lisa, and I believe that about you, Dr. Deborah, because I remember you talking about that before too. I think you was giving a talk about that. I mean, that was a part of your talk one time. I remember you saying that.
I have several watches now, Fitbits and whatever, that I can't wear. I put them on once and they're gone.
Lisa's tried Fitbit a couple of times since I've known her, and they don't last on her at all.
Nope.
So that's true. The only challenge I had with what's going on with Lisa was it seems like on a treadmill, she felt like guilty that she was shorting out the treadmill at a certain speed. Okay, she thought it was her. And I said, it's not the case. It's the treadmill's fault because you walk on the treadmill and it doesn't happen every time. And if it happened every time, I could agree with that. But I did not agree that it's exclusively you causing the problem with the treadmill.
It happens. So here's what I deduced. It happens every time that I accelerate beyond 3 miles an hour. So when I get to 3.1, meaning that my personal energy is stressed, because that's fast for me, and I am going for longer than 30 minutes on it, then it shorts and it throws me. It throws me because it stopped. The treadmill stops and then I'm still moving. It throws me. And it's happened 3 times. So right now I just keep it at 2.5 for me.
All right, it's now 9:43. One thing, and this is a Friday. We're supposed to be shout out Friday too, but I enjoyed this journey with you guys today. That skill or talent that you have that most people don't know about. Don't try to play me in checkers. It's not a fair fight. Okay, maybe you get a few of the really, really smart friends together, and then try to play against me.
I have another skill.
What's that?
I can tie a cherry stem with my tongue.
Okay, I haven't seen you do that yet, so I want to see that. I'm gonna go to the store and get me a bunch of cherries with long stems.
I can without my hands, just with my mouth.
I get it. I've seen it done before, but and I believe you can. I believe you can, baby. I've had clues, but anyway, but I've not seen you do that before. So we're gonna do our greeting songs and our greeting logos. For those of you who have earned a greeting song or a greeting logo, we're looking forward to doing it. Let's go to.
We're gonna go to that. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the top. Because it's 9:44. That means we ain't going to see you guys.
Hey, Miss Phyllis, we've missed you. I'm so glad that you're back today. Hey, LaTanya. We got to come up with a new name, but we got until June to figure it out. But right now, she's LaTanya Blackman, the champion of families.
That might still work.
Maybe? No.
Because she's going into real estate and travel.
Yeah.
Miss Phyllis George has a jam. Miss Phyllis is here.
Miss Phyllis.
So clear the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. Good morning, Miss Phyllis.
Good morning, Miss Phyllis. Hey, Chef Rev. I have another skill that I can do that we actually talked about this morning. I can telepathically communicate with my mother.
That's another thing, too. I think most people can communicate telepathically. We just don't know how to harness it.
Right.
Mr. George Allen, a.k.a. Chef Rev, he has a jam as well. Why must I eat like that? Why not hire Chef Rev?
He puts the good food in me.
Not. Now, this weekend, Lisa and I are going to have a good time. Tomorrow night, we're going to a party, a get-together for people aged 55 and up.
So we'll be the kids at the place.
It's 55 and up when they have a Motown vibe to it. That's all they told us. But 55 and up. Now, we're both going to, I'm going to turn 55 this year, but I'm really only 54.
I'm going to turn 55 next year.
In January.
So we're the teenagers of the bunch.
We're going to be the kids probably. We're going to hang out with the Dusties. Now, check it out. At the party, the invitation says from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. None of this until ... crap. It's 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. So that's when we ending this party. I asked the host, I said, so 6 p.m. So should we show up at 7 or 8?
If you want to be.
No, you need to show up around 6. But this party. So I'm looking forward to that party as well.
I'm looking forward to it anyway.
And then Sunday, we're going to the beach, man.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Hey, Renee.
Miss Renee Peterson has a jam.
This girl is a... What? Renee Peterson's fire.
That's it.
Renee Peterson's fire. She's walking on fire. Renee Peterson's fire.
That's right. Miss Renee Peterson, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Miss Glenda Tate Williams has a jam.
Glenda's riding on the freeway and make up in her pink Cadillac.
Good morning, Miss Phyllis.
Good morning.
Miss Phyllis. Miss Glenda Tate.
Glenda.
Miss Brittany Thomas has a jam as well.
It's Brittany. It's Brittany. It's Brittany. Brittany Thomas. It's Brittany. It's Brittany. It's Brittany. Brittany. It's your time. It's your time. Yeah.
Miss Brittany says she misses. Should we talk with her soon? Brittany, we're gonna be around. We know you busy. We know you got stuff to do.
She got business.
Yes, we talked. We had a good time yesterday talking about words that we misuse, and business was another one.
Business.
Which I
business.
like.
Dr. Deborah, you plastered twice. Dr. Deborah, nonprofit strategist and funding coach.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to that party. I think Dr. Deborah's going to join us on that party as well tomorrow night. I can't wait. I'm excited about it. I'm not going to be in a suit and tie. I can tell you that.
You're going to be in a walk-in suit.
I'm going to be fly. I'm going to be comfortable and I'm going to be fly.
Hey,
Kelly Little,
Kelly,
good morning,
I
sir.
didn't see you.
Good morning, Kelly. How you doing? Did Kelly have a jam? Yes, he does.
Kelly, can't you see? Sometimes your lines, sometimes your words just hypnotize me.
That's right, my man Kelly in our Biggie Small voice. What's up,
That is
Kelly?
my Biggie Small voice.
How you doing, my brother? I hope you're having a good day, and I want you to have a good weekend as well. I don't know what those emojis about.
Glenda's emojis. Glenda's hearts, lipsticks, and lips. And I can't wear my lipstick. And it has helped not wearing my lipstick. I got to find a new.
You got to find a new lipstick. That other lipstick you was wearing was causing her lips and tongue to tingle. So she figured out the other day that's what the problem. It was the lipstick.
A month and a half. That's right. A lipstick that I used for years, but they changed the formula.
Yep. That's what happened. And now he has an allergic reaction to it. So you just got to find a different lipstick. That's all. You don't have to give up on lipstick altogether because that particular lipstick didn't work.
Well, okay. Chef Rev says, I love Brian because he's a good blank talker.
Uh-huh.
When I win playing him in checkers, I'm not going to say a word. Not going to say a word.
Okay.
No, I didn't know, Miss Phyllis. She says, you know they are celebrating Biggie in New York City. No, I didn't know that. Why are they celebrating
Chef
Biggie?
Rev, do you really think? Okay.
We need to have game night now. We need to have game night.
All right, I'll play you 5 games, okay?
We had a game.
Let me finish with my man here because he says I'm talking trash. I'm gonna play you 5 games, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Not only am I good at checkers like that, I'm good at pool too. Let me tell you something about me and pool real quick. We got 2 minutes to go on the show. It's okay for someone to beat me in a game. Okay. If you beat me in pool, no problem. We'll just play again. One of my favorite stories that happened recently was when we had a networking meeting. There was a pool table there. There was a young man there who was really, really cocky about his pool game, and we wanted to play. And the first game, he won. He won the first game, and he was sure he was way better than me. And we played 4 more games, and I won. The final score was Brian 4, him 1. Okay, I laughed my head off if someone beats me in the game of pool because I know the longer we play, I'm going to win most of the games.
Miss Phyllis says she sues pool also. Hey, Jacqueline, thank you for joining.
Oh, we got to do our song now.
Jacqueline Rosie, pretty little one that I adore. You're the only one my heart beats for. I'm so glad that you are mine.
And according to Jacqueline,
she says, good morning, Arizona, good morning, people. Sound is off. Lord. Well, our sound is not off. So maybe, hopefully you get the sound on. Biggie is going to be 50, would have been 50 tomorrow. Wow.
And they even have a Metro card in honor of Biggie.
I think they also have an NFT in honor of Biggie.
Most likely. Pool is a geometric pattern.
No challenge.
I learned my secret to playing pool from what other people told. My cousin Earl was the one. He goes, Brian laughs and jokes all you want to when he's playing pool until it's time for him to shoot. Once he gets ready to shoot, everything else shuts down. No more joking. He's real serious. Y'all looking at him. He is very serious. He's paying attention. He's looking at his breathing, everything. And then when he finishes shooting, he'll go back to laughing and joking. But he ain't joking when it's his turn to shoot. And I didn't realize that about me. Okay,
yeah,
so Earl told me.
You got to tell. Do you play poker?
Not anymore.
Have you played?
Lots of it. I used to play poker every Friday night until I got to the place where I was tired of losing my money.
Oh, so you don't win at poker?
No, not like at pool or checkers.
I think it's because you have a tell. You know what game I like that what was the game we made up? Where you have to guess the word without saying the word?
Yeah, I don't know. No, we didn't make it up. I learned it. I saw it somewhere else. We was playing a couples game. Anyway, you want to read that card before we get out of here? Because it's already a minute late.
We're already a minute late. So I'm going to read the card. It's called the beauty card, and that is beautiful. And it says, beauty is a doorway into timelessness, an invitation to now. Noticing beauty begins to build your beauty sense. Truth of your being. Come, sit, breathe. It's all in every moment.
Amen.
Take a moment this weekend
to see something or experience something beautiful.
Absolutely.
Experience something beautiful.
And while
it's
you're
all
at
around you.
It's all around you. And while you're at it, don't forget.